This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Today on the Compliance Tip of the Day, we take up communicating across cultural boundaries. A 360-degree approach to communications entails looking at all forms of interaction as a way to interconnect. This means both verbal and nonverbal, in clues and in hints. This concept can be particularly helpful in relating to and with cultures outside the United States, as one of the most critical issues to a compliance function is breaking through a company's internal cultural boundaries. Managers often discover that perfectly rational deals will fall apart when their business counterparts make what seem to be unreasonable demands or don't respect commitments. However, instead of looking for cultural bridges, you should look for ways to communicate with your audience internally in both verbal and nonverbal ways. Erin Meyer, in her Harvard Business Review article, reported that this is a key element for dealing with cross-cultural issues. Communication and compliance must be largely drawn around trust. For any compliance professional, this is a key to working with your employee base across the globe. Implicit is building trust and getting out of your office and traveling to your other business locations. I recognize that business travel was under a hiatus during COVID, but now that we're post-pandemic, it's still going to be critical for you to reach out and touch your colleagues literally across the globe. By going to other locations, you can certainly take a step towards building that trust. While you can build cognitive trust through demonstrating your usefulness to an overseas business unit, you will really need to build effective trust sitting in their offices. So get out and meet some of your employees, and that will allow a 360-degree approach to communication going forward. Sometimes getting to a yes or no is something Americans are quite comfortable with, but in some cultures it may not work. The way to find this out is to go and learn how to do it on a go-forward basis. This month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.